So, welcome to Crypto Bullseye. We've got some special guests on the show. Firstly, we're going to go through the guests. We've got Warren from Block Free Finance. We've got Jellico from Crypto Grit, and we've got Julian from Julian Crypto. So, we've got a nice little panel today. This is the first time that I've done this, guys. So, firstly, what I'm going to do is we're going to do a little roundtable to introduce the guests. Firstly, we'll start with Warren.
Hey everyone, Warren from Block 3 Finance. I'm more on the crypto accounting and legal financial advice because we're backed by CPAs in our firm and organization, and we have locations around the world: UK, Dubai, Canada, US, and I believe working on Singapore and others. So we can help people globally.
I'm going to go with my friend Jellico next.
Hello, Kid. Thank you for having me today. I'm from channel CryptoGrid, mainly focused on Web3 gaming, and I also work as a part-time research analyst for ChainGPT as well.
And finally, Julian.
All right, hello everyone. I'm Julian Crypto. I'm working with Max Data app, and daily I'm trading, investing, and trying to find a situation on which I can get some profits on the market. I prefer trading on some news events and sudden situations. Suddenly.
I know that we've done a collab before, Julian, and we've gone through. We've kind of complemented the technical analysis and then the on-chain analysis with Max Data before. So it's going to be interesting to find out what you think about Bitcoin later on in the video. So what I want to do is ask you guys some questions because I know that we've got 3 different niches here. So each one of you are kind of specialists in your field. So I've got individual questions for each one of you guys. And we're going to start with Warren. And I want to ask Warren, what are the biggest tax mistakes that people make within the crypto space?
Oh, good question. I think the number one mistake well, there's two. There's a part A and a part B. Number one, there's still this somewhat prevailing view that people believe that their government can't really track their transactions, or if they just don't do their taxes, the government is so busy dealing with so many other aspects of running the country. I mean, we've actually heard that, and also just with regular traditional finance. That how would they ever track our transactions? And then the other part of it is kind of a part B is thinking that a disbursement, a taxable event, only happens when converting to fiat currency. So there's a lot of people that say, well, when I convert from Bitcoin to Ethereum, or if I'm going from Ondo, they don't believe that any transaction like that is a taxable event, and certainly it is. Both ways. It can be treated as a loss, or as profit, but in most cases people are certainly looking at hiding profits. And then I think the third mistake that people make is thinking applications and tools like Coinly that prepare reports that go into your wallets and prepare reports on what your estimated tax liability is. They think that those reports will automatically be accepted by the government, and they're actually those applications are actually not certified and government tax department approved, which is kind of what these applications tend to give you the comfort that they are approved, and that the government will just accept them as is. So this is where you need the backing of a transactional history. They'll come in and they'll want to see spreadsheets, and they'll certainly give you more of a background credibility if you're working with what they would deem as an approved accounting firm.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the mistakes that I made, and we chatted early on about that, and that's
Yeah.
that's one of the first apps that I said that I was going to go to, and you kind of explained that to me early on, and
Yeah.
I ended up going in.
Yeah, our head CPA is, consistently works through it, and we have processes to help with that, Keith. So it's something that really is not well known out there. So we found a lot of people that have come to us, and it's usually after the fact, when we can help them even less and help reduce their tax hit, because there are ways to do that. Legally even, and obviously, find people come to us when they're getting audited or when they're getting questioned, and obviously they throw their hands up in the air and start to get nervous. So
okay. No, we'll come back and we'll touch on that actually, because I've got another question.
Sounds good.
To ask you, but we'll move to Jellicoe next. So Jellicoe, I see you gaming all the time, and that's something that you've been into, and obviously that's the niche that you've taken on your channel. And I'm not a gamer, and I remember Jellicoe in 2021. We were talking about Splinterlands when I was playing Splinterlands. That's some time ago now, isn't it? So that was 2021, and things have developed a lot since then. And I'm not into blockchain gaming as much as you are. And in fact, I don't play anything at the moment. But over the years, I've seen the development of blockchain gaming and how it's becoming more mainstream. So firstly, what's your experience over the years? Because I know that you've been in there a lot longer than me. And secondly, is there anything that you're playing right now at the moment?
Well, same as Warren started. Like, there are two sides of the coin here. Like, there are people that play games for fun, and there are people that play games to earn money in Web3. And I think like majority of the people, gamers, are actually more focused on a second side. And usually, like, the best approach to do that is like to consistently switch from one game to another, play pre-TG games, as the tokens are released. This is actually causing the problems for the games, because once the TG happens, like, the number of players drop by 70-80%. A lot of them sell their coins. So often you can see a huge sell-offs, and I think this is like the biggest issue where games are struggling, since having their own coin, like, it's good for raising funds, but they still struggle to find the use cases, so I feel this is the problem in the long run regarding like the games that I'm playing. I'm actually like switching through a lot of games. I mainly play TCG, Auto Chess Battler. So recently I play Gods Unchained, The Lost Glitches. I play a lot of different games, but this changes consistently as well. So
yeah, you're quite active on Twitch with your live streams as well, aren't you, Jellicoe?
Yeah, well, on live streams, I feel like you can connect with your audience more, and sometimes it's easier and more natural to communicate than here when you're doing YouTube videos and it doesn't require any editing or anything. So it's just simpler, Like, yeah. Also regarding like the evolution of gaming, I think games are getting better, but like the games that are taking traction, I think it highly correlates with what happened with meme coins recently. Is we have some combination of like DeFi, GambleFi, and gaming together, and I think this is like something that is maybe trending, or that will like take off once the market starts rising again, more than traditional games.
Yeah. And the next thing, as far as Julian's concerned, we had the chats before, Julian, about Bitcoin and what we thought about the Bitcoin price. So it'd be great to go over what you actually think about the Bitcoin price right now, and where you think that Bitcoin's going to go in the next coming weeks, coming months, and when you actually think that potentially we're going to get that rotation of capital and maybe a drop in dominance.
Right. You can see my screen right now. Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So the market right now is focusing on two events. In 2 months, we will have a significant event of decreasing interest rates. It will be 18th of June. So exactly that point, the Fed probably will cut interest rates. There is around 80% chance of doing it. On the other hand, what we have on the table is tariffs war between China and US. And today I heard that Trump announced another higher tariffs over 200%, around 245% on China. So no one is stopping. No US, even China. So right now, situation isn't clear really for me, because without tariffs and without this war, I will be clearly telling you and telling to my friends, etc., that we are going up to this event. On the other hand, if we have this tariffs war, so we have to go back to the past to see how in the past tariffs war impacted the Bitcoin's price. It was 2018, the first tariff war between China and US. And it started somewhere right here in March 2018, I remember. It was right here. So the tariff war between China and US collapsed S&P 500 and collapsed in the end the Bitcoin's price, because S&P 500 drops before. And after that, the BTC price crashed around 50%. We have to also remind ourselves the next event, right at this point, in June 2019, Federal Reserve was decreasing interest rates. First time for many months, really high interest rates, and that was the point. The Fed cut interest rates for the first time, for a long time. So right now we will have a probably similar event. So my question is, what will happen up to until 18th of June this year? So really, I don't want to tell you anything, because anything is on the table right now.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it will be so easy for me and for everybody else to just tell everyone what will happen, but we don't know what will happen. That's why we need to observe and analyze the market all the time. If it will be so easy to just tell my audience, my friends, buy now and just wait, everybody will be earning money and gaining profits. And this is not so easy, because the market is reacting to every news, every situation. So right now, what is the most important right now is to just observe the market and observe the Trump reaction and China reaction and analyze what will happen. Right? What we know right now is that Fed will cut interest rates in June. Probably there is around 80% chance of doing it. So this is the fact. Next fact is that there's already higher tariffs on China and on US from each side. So probably this force pushing the Bitcoin up probably won't be so high. Maybe the next couple of months will be something, going up and going down, because there are two forces right now. People who are fearing the tariffs, and people who are investors who are playing the event of decreasing interest rates. And the market is reacting right now on every Trump tweet. Like, for example, a few days ago, they notified the market right at this point that they are stopping pausing tariffs for 90 days. And the market reacted immediately. No, it was that point that market reacted immediately. At this point, they announced that they are stopping tariffs, pausing tariffs for chips, for semiconductors, electronics from China, and the market reacted to this. So market is reacting right now to every Trump tweet or truth on his social media platform. So we have to just now, analyze it all the time and just watch every single tweet he is posting or post.
Yeah, he's going to be the one that drives the markets.
Yeah, it looks like this,
Yeah.
But the market is giving opportunities all the time. For example, let's go to another just a simple altcoin, Helium. Like, what do I mean that the market is giving opportunities all the time? And I love to play these opportunities out. So Helium has had news like a few days ago that SEC is Helium jumps after SEC drops unregistered securities lawsuit. So first, that news came like right at this point, at this moment. And after that, we had to wait around 2 days, 3 days, and the HNT token rise around 30%, even 50% right now, over 16%. So these are kind of news that are happening all the time, every single week, I assume. So that's what I'm focusing on. Like before, the Trump token was released, and the Trump token was released right at just before the Trump inauguration, and it was a great opportunity to do 6x, which I did. And there are plenty of opportunities every single day, every single week. We just have to, focus and use tools, use AI to scrub the internet to find that kind of signals from the market.
That was your 2-month holiday signal, Julian.
Yeah, and much more. Yes. And much more last year, because I'm focusing on finding such signals like this.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Thank you for sharing that, Julian. Much appreciated. Next question is going to be for Warren, and this is a question, actually. If you could just stop sharing your screen a sec, Julian. This one's another question for Warren, and I left this one to the end because it's relevant for every single person that's watching this channel. And I want to ask you, Warren, as far as Western countries are concerned, we've got countries like UK, we've got Canada, we've got the US, we've got obviously the European Union. They've all got their different jurisdictions, they've all got their different laws, and they've all got their different difficulties as far as onboarding, offboarding is concerned. And I want to ask you, what is the biggest difficulty that they face as far as the onboarding and offboarding process is concerned? How can Block 3 help them on the back of that, Warren?
So yeah. So with respect to onboarding, there's everybody knows. Let's go into some details, right? Keith, you know what it's like to try and get money in and out of the system. Your banks aren't always friendly to you passing fiat currency through to an exchange or to try and get it into the crypto sphere. And then when you want to bring it back, especially if you've made a lot of profits and you want to bring that money back into your environment, into your fiat environment to spend, you want to live a life, you want to buy a car, you may want to buy a house, you want to spend that money, and there's limitations for many people in many of the Western countries and others. So we've worked on setting up a network and a set of processes that are legal, that are properly tracked and but also don't limit the amount of money that you can onboard into the crypto world. I can't really go into the specific details. There are some proprietary methods in the way we do it, but we do work with certified money transmitters, and There's crypto friendly lawyers that are involved, and when I say crypto friendly, I mean that they have the tools and capabilities of moving money between cryptocurrency and fiat currency, no matter what currency you're talking about. And essentially, from that perspective, we've even helped people buy a house with crypto, like in a single transaction. So that's pretty that's pretty high-end stuff with respect to that kind of money being spent in a single transaction in crypto. So it's not, you can't go through the purely traditional method of, okay, well, I'm going to, onboard $1,000 into crypto, and then I have to do $1,000 a day because my bank limits me, and then after my $5,000 limit for the week, I have to wait till next week, and in some cases the banks like just decline you. They say, no, you can't do that. We don't allow money to go from our general ledgers into anything related to crypto. So and vice versa, bringing it back. Where's this coming from? Why such a big amount? What do you need the money for? How did you earn it? So there's a lot of issues that come from moving money back and forth between crypto and traditional finance, especially if it's a lot of money.
Okay, well, what about this kind of scenario then? Jellicoe makes some money on crypto gaming. He then invests that money that he makes on crypto gaming, and then he puts that into a DeFi protocol. He does whatever, DeFi farming, takes that out of farming, and he buys an NFT with it, sells that NFT. Is that something that Block3 could deal with? How would they actually deal with that?
By the way, sorry for jumping in. I actually experienced what Warren mentioned. Like in Serbia, I actually had to change the bank because they wouldn't accept the deposit from the bank that I was in. So I literally had to change the bank. And even from Serbia, we don't have many opportunities to deposit on multiple exchanges. Now it's better, but like back in 2019-20, it was terrible pretty much.
I've experienced the same as well, Jellicoe, completely. It's chaos in the UK. You have to do a transaction from one bank to another bank to another bank to get it into an exchange. It's an absolute nightmare. But yeah, is that something that they could do as far as how would they deal with that kind of thing, Warren, as far as like NFT transactions are concerned and like crypto gaming profits and that kind of thing?
Well, earning yield, like if you're looking at DeFi and you're earning yields, it's typically taxed as ordinary income because there's a fair amount of transactions that take place. So it's taxed as income every time you receive, and the same goes for staking rewards and NFTs, right? It's taxed as income when received, and it's based on the fair market value at that time. And then there's the dispute as to whether it's capital gains, which is generally less tax punitive, or whether it's business income, and generally government tax agencies will put a very low bar on the line between capital gains and ordinary income, and that regular business income is taxed higher than capital gains, although capital gains are going up in different parts of the world. So yeah, I mean, at Block3, we can certainly help with that. But what we're finding now is even the capital gains, I mean, it happened in Canada. I think there to some degree it was happening in the US and certainly happening around the world. But we're finding that we're now, providing advice for our customers to do, well, in Canada, it's called a Section 85 rollover, which allows you to roll your personal income into a business, and your personal assets into a business, and then you operate as a business, because business income is taxed at a flat rate based on your tiers of income within that business. So it's a lot easier to manage the taxes for someone if we treat them as a business. And it's also certainly much more tax effective. You can certainly be in a position to pay less in taxes, because then your profits and your earnings and your assets are in a business, and you only pull out of that business on the personal side, depending on what you need. You're not being forced to say, well, I'm taking all this money. You don't necessarily have to spend all that money, but you will still be taxed on it when at the time of disbursement and at the time of the tax event taking place. So there's a myriad of things we can do, but honestly, it's the battle between capital gains and business income. You're taxed at source when you receive any of these gains, be it DeFi, be it staking rewards or NFTs. On the sale of an NFT, it's done at fair market value at the time. We do tend to steer people now. And this is why when people come to us after the fact, we can't help them as much, because we can't get them rolled over into a business environment. We can't get them rolled over into a corporation that in advance will put them in a position to, alleviate some of that tax burden.
Yeah, no, it's quite some interesting thoughts there, to be honest with you, because it is different for different people, and we've got a worldwide audience.
Yeah,
got all these different jurisdictions to contend with. But guys, I'm going to leave it with that, but I'm going to ask you one last question. And this is just a personal view, obviously not financial advice. I know that myself and Julian have spoken about it before. Myself and Jellico done a video on it before. And we talk about sell in May, walk away, and the actual concept behind that, where liquidity comes out of the market and liquidity goes elsewhere while they go on holiday, whatever it is that they do. People pull liquidity out of the market, and you can go past the last 10 years, last 12 years kind of thing. And there's a couple of events where May's actually run. Not many, but there's a couple of events, and you can see time and time again when you get that point in May where the liquidity gets sucked out of the market. Is it going to be a red herring this year with the way that the market's run? Because I thought the market was going to run a lot earlier than what it has, and we haven't had the alt season that we've been waiting for yet, and we don't know what happens. Exactly what Julian says, we're dictated by what Trump's doing with the tariffs and that kind of thing. But what I'm thinking in the background is some kind of a market crash. Like, we've had a capitulation, we had our Black Monday. Was that the end of it? Could we have something worse? Could he drive the market further down to send a signal to the Fed that in May, you need to do an emergency rate cut, and then we can get the world refinanced and get stimulus in the market, and then a big move? So my question to you guys, that was a bit long-winded, wasn't it? My question to you is, sell in May and walk away, or buy in May and stay? Start with Warren.
I don't think it's a sell in May and walk away this year. I think Julian was talking about there's a lot of factors at play earlier. I think that the tariff situation has to get sorted out. And I think, markets will only normalize when there's some clarity there, and certainly there's still the back and forth. I mean, you were talking about an additional 200% tariffs. I mean, it's like at some point, if you drop 1,000 pounds of steel on your foot, does it hurt any less than when you drop 2,000 pounds? And you don't, past a certain point, it doesn't really matter, right? So I think this is kind of the conundrum out there, and I think these things are going to get sorted out in due course. And it's not to say that there won't be a realignment and there won't be market price issues that come from it, but what, markets don't, we all know that markets don't like uncertainty. So once there's some certainty, I think you're going to get sideways chop. You could have a little bit down, but I think we're at historic levels. And as far as coming into a level of support from previous all-time highs for Bitcoin. So I think what will happen is, I think we're going to get some chop. I actually think historically you're right, Keith, with respect to liquidity coming out of the market in that time frame. But I think in this case, with the potential for the interest rate cuts, and I think you're going to get concerns about recessions, and guess what happens then, right? There's going to be some form of money printing They're not going to call it that, but there's going to be I believe that there's going to be some level of global liquidity being injected into the markets, and I think we'll actually, if we don't get new all-time highs in Bitcoin, we will certainly approach another area of the top where the previous highs were. But frankly, guys, I think the risk to the downside thereafter. I think everybody has to be vigilant. I think it's going to, I think we are, things are breaking in the background, and the money printing and the liquidity and the reduced interest rates will certainly put some tailwinds behind us. But in due course, that ultimately won't be enough. And I think this will become a trader's market. It already is right now, but it certainly will become a trader's market in the future. And I'm not sure when in 2025 or even early 26 when the final, topping pattern is in. But I do think for now, I think this a decent part of 2025 could see some price action, although coming with a lot of up price action, that is, although coming with a lot of volatility.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, Warren, I completely agree with what you're saying, and the year is going to be something big that's going to happen, and I think this potentially could be either this crash or the next crash could be something that's really bad as far.
Yeah. So that was the long-winded. The short-winded is no, not necessarily a walk. A sell in May and walk away.
Yeah,
I don't think that is the case this year.
As far as May's concerned, though, I think selling May, walk away, that's going to be the red herring of the year. Myself and Jellicoe have talked about that, and I'll come on to you next, Jellicoe. What do you think?
Well, in the last video, I spoke about M2 money supply correlation with the Bitcoin price, and if you look at different time frames, it's above 80% correlation. If you do 108 days offset, I can even send you the screenshot so you can post it at this time frame. And I highly believe in this correlation because I always try to look at the data. And it's funny thing what I said to the friend, if you look at on-chain analysis, technical analysis, a lot of things look bullish. The only thing that's bearish is that there is a lot of fake on-chain activity, fake pumps. For example, the thing that happened with OM 2 days ago, pretty much, And I expect more of these things to happen, but I'm still more on and I think everybody should have some scaling in and scaling out of the markets, not all in, all out. But I'm more on a buy side in May than on a sell side. So,
and then that leaves us with Julian.
I don't really know, what will happen next week or next month. So, in my perspective, saying this, selling May and go away is for newbies, for the street who wants easy answers, and there is no easy answer. So again, if you want easy answer, you can just sell in May and go away. And there is, for example, 60% chance or 70% chance that you will win. But in what data are you using? I mean, not you, Keith, but people who are saying this, selling May and go away. What data are they using to predict that outcome? That after May there will be lower price of BTC or the cryptos. So there is no data. In sayings, what we need to look are rules, new rules, tariffs, trade wars, new signals from the market, economy data, etc. And as you said, Zeiko, money supply, it's higher right now, and gold is pumping. On the other hand, we might be on the edge of the crisis. It's really probably so close, but we don't really know if it's close that it will crash in 5 months, in
exactly
10 months, or maybe in a 1 month.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is, in my perspective, what I am doing. So most of the times, crypto isn't going up or isn't going down. And BTC, most of the times, BTC is going just straight. It's moving just, a little bit up and a little bit down. And there are few percent, few days in a year that is giving us the biggest profits and the biggest downsides. So there's only a few percent of these days in the year that the Bitcoin and crypto is pumping or dumping. But most of the times it's doing nothing. But what is when the Bitcoin is pumping or when the crypto is pumping? Before some events, after some news, after some speculation, before huge events, significant events that whole market is playing out. So, for example, past year, what was it? It was ETFs. The whole market was playing ETFs, and the market was pumping price until ETFs. After ETFs, the market crashed around 20%. After that, we were playing and speculating on Bitcoin halving and moving price upwards even before the Bitcoin halving, because we learned that previous Bitcoin halvings, 3 of them, pushed the price even higher. So that time, this time, we pumped the price before that event. And right now, what is right now? And before was also Trump's win and Trump's inauguration. And right now, what we are waiting for? Maybe for that interest rates cuts.
Yeah.
In my perspective, this is only event that we might be waiting for right now to selling higher on a higher emotions. Right now, I don't know what will happen in 2 weeks, but right now I see in that period of time around 2 months decrease interest rates, and probably that moment would be nice. Would be pretty profitable moment of taking profits, in my perspective. 18th of June. Maybe just at the point or a day after taking profits. Why? Because the whole market will be talking about it. And the emotions will be the highest. Everybody will believe that the market will go up after that. So why don't take profits just that time? But before, what Trump will say, I don't know. Maybe, I'm watching his tweets all the time. I have alerts on everything, and I'm waiting for everything. And you have to just be aware and analyze everything. And this is not so easy as every new people in industry think. Just hold and keep holding diamond hands. It's not so easy.
No.
It was maybe easy. It looks easy after some time. It looks easy. If I bought in 2016 and hold until 2017, if I bought in 2019 and hold until 2021. But meanwhile, there is a plenty of news bumping you, going into your head, and the media is telling you Bitcoin is going up, Bitcoin is going down, crashing, etc. So it looks so easy after a few years. It is so easy, maybe if you buy Bitcoin and wait 4 years, yes, indeed. But if you buy altcoins, 90% of the time you will end with less money after 4 years.
Yeah.
95 or 98% of the times, if you buy random altcoins, after 5 years, you will get less. It's statistics. So it's easy saying diamond hands. Diamond hands is, again, it's saying, it's just saying. What we need to do is just trying to be clever, and the market is getting clever and clever every single week. New tools are coming, artificial intelligence is coming, machine learning, analyzing data. So the market isn't the same like it was in 2021 and especially in 2017. It's much different every single year and month.
Yeah.
And we have to be aware of this.
Diamond hands to zero.
Diamond hands to zero, right?
Yeah. Yeah, completely agree, mate.
And
But I think we'll end there though, guys, but it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for taking the time out and coming on the show, because you've all got your different niches and you've all been a great benefit to the channel. So I hope to see you all again. I know that you've all been regulars on the channel before, but I hope to see you all again on the channel. But a great thank you from me and from the community as well.
yeah, thank you, Keith, as well.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
Thanks a lot, Keith.
No problem.
Thanks.
Pleasure.
It is
Take care and bye.
great conversation, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers,
See
guys.
ya.